Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to make a DIY version of Lush's Fun Bar. Now, it's not an exact dupe because it's very few ingredients, but there are ingredients that you will have at home, and even if you don't use it in the bath, it makes for great sensory play for your toddlers and preschoolers. So, let's dive in. First of all, if you're not familiar with what a fun bar is, it's from a bath and body store called Lush. And they're these, my son refers to them as Play-Doh soap. They're these moldable soaps. Let me just see what they said in here, how to use. It says to use as soap or shampoo, take a small bit in your hand, hop in the tub and lather up. If you fancy a bubble bath, crumble a small piece under a running tap for mountains of suds. We first tried red in the fall, then I got him a blue one for in his stocking, and then just yesterday we tried a green one. The green one smells like lemon lime. It smells awesome. And I have found out of all three, it lathered the best. So we're going to try to make a DIY version here at home. Here is what the packaging looks like. Now I've already opened it, right? And they are very open about the ingredients that are in their products. And here's mine. It's not an exact, but the consistency is very, very similar. See that? So you can mold it. Now this one I made using Aveeno baby wash and cornstarch and the green dye, food coloring. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of the word. Now, Aveeno, you know, doesn't lather very much. It's not a real heavy lathering soap. So although this will be great in the bath, and I know it'll be gentle on my son's skin, it may not have like the fun, big bubble effect of the Fun Bar. So now I'm going to try making it with this Method dish soap. Now obviously we won't be putting this one in the bathtub, so this will just be a great sensory. But this is the lime scent and it's green, so it may give more of a similar effect in the water as this one, although this one will probably be better for actually cleaning in the bathtub. So let's go ahead and make it. First up is 1 cup of cornstarch. Now you all, I did try using baby powder that I had left over from my diapering days, and it was not successful. When I used baby powder instead of the cornstarch, it just made a goopy, gloppy mess. So do not use, this is a no, this is a yes. And 1/4 cup of soap. So it could be a bath soap, it could be a hand soap, or in my case I'm going to use this lime dish soap to get that really big bubbly lather. Okay, so I'm just going to put some in this. I'm going to start with 1/4 cup and I'm going to mix, and if the consistency isn't correct, then I'll just add either more cornstarch or more liquid to get it that desired you know, Fun Bar consistency. This part's optional. I'm just going to add maybe 2 to 4 drops of food coloring, green food coloring in, just to make it more closely resemble the actual Fun Bar that I purchased. They're calling that Fun Bar energizing, I guess because it has the lemon and lime essential oils in it. Oops, let me do this left-handed so you can see. 1, 2, 3. Let's start with 3 and mix it up and see how that works. Alright you all, so I've actually added another 1/4 cup, which is a 1/2 cup total of the dish liquid, and this seems to be like a better consistency. When you mold it together, it actually sticks together. The color is a little too pale, so I'm going to go ahead and add a few more drops of food coloring. So I started with 3. Let's add 3 more and see what color we get. Okay, now you can see I'm molding it with my hands now. It's getting too hard to use the spoon. The texture is perfect, but you notice the color is not quite there. So right now it has 6 drops of food color. I'm going to add 3 more, massage it with my hands, and then I'll show you what we get next. Alrighty, so that's after 12 drops of food coloring. It's not exact, but pretty close. I think that's enough food coloring for just the purposes of a sensory play activity. So let's roll this up into a log, kind of like this. I'm going to put it in saran wrap, and then we'll break off a piece and let my little boy play with it. Well, it's not as bubbly as I thought. I thought it was a lot more bubbly. Okay, so that's the original Fun Bar. Alright, let's drain and do the second one. Oopsie. Okay, so this is the Aveeno baby soap version. It got really slimy. Let me see if I can find a piece of it. It just had a once it got wet, the texture was very different. It was very similar when it was dry, but texture was different once it got wet. So not very many bubbles and not much color. Okay, let's try the third one. Now for the third one. This is the one we just made together, you all, with the Method dish soap and the baking soda and the 12 drops of green food coloring. So now let's get it wet and see how it holds up. The texture seems to be more closely matched when they're dry than when they're wet. Let's see how this one does. Oopsie. Okay. Now that's hot. Yeah, see, the texture once it gets wet is not the same. This still holds its shape, but this has a lot more ingredients in it. Stuff that you just wouldn't have at home. This one, you know, for a fun sensory is pretty good. Okay, let's do this and see how it lathers. Well, this is proving to have the best soaps. I mean, the best bubbles, most lather, I should say. The texture is a little slimy. It's like the homemade version of the other one, but it's getting more bubbles. So for the bubble payoff, I would say this one is good. It's leaving a little bit of stuff behind, but not as much dot as this one does. Yeah, I would say that the dish liquid left great bubbles.
A nice water and just
Ah! 30 minutes later, we've cleaned up lots of water. He's still playing.
I need a big piece of that.
Of this one that Mommy made?
Yeah.
Okay, go back over. Mommy will get it for you.
No.
Tell me what your favorite thing was.
My favorite thing is bubbling.
Making the bubbles. How did you learn how to make the bubbles?
I'll show you.
So he played quietly for an hour. Yes, it was messy.
Washed.
But hey, my floors are clean now.
Bubbles. Let's show how to
Okay, show us.
bubbles.
Good discovery. If you swish back and forth, it makes big bubbles. That's right.
Like switching like this.
And show me what you were doing with the bubbles. What you and Mommy were playing. We scoop up the bubbles.
Like this.
Yeah.
Switch it down.
Yeah. I see that.